am Paul O'D of Cage Legacy and the MMA Opinion. I am joined on the line today by Dylan O'Donovan of SPG Cork City. Dylan fights Gary Rooney in a flyweight bout on April 3rd at Cage Legacy The Aftermath live on pay-per-view. How are you doing today, Dylan?
All's good, Paul. All's good. Thanks for having me on.
Very good. Glad to hear it. I want to start out and get a little bit about your background and how you got started in MMA. So what kind of brought you to SPG Cork City?
As everybody knows, I come from a boxing family. I started off boxing when I was 10 years old because my mum and dad were both involved in boxing. Started off boxing, went the whole way up to 16, 17. Kind of dropped out of the sport, started playing soccer with my friends and stuff. And then when I turned 18, going on 19, I heard about, it was actually K2C at the time, is their name before it was SPG Cork City. One of my friends brought me down and I'm hooked ever since.
Yeah. So that's nearly 10 years ago, is that?
It would have been, it would have been 7 years ago, 7 years since I first walked into the gym.
Very good. And how is training going for this one? Obviously, things are a lot different now. You have the lockdown, you have a pandemic going on at the moment. How has it been putting a training camp together for this one?
It was a lot different compared to, like, I haven't fought in over 12 months. And I know the pandemic just kicked off before the end of my last fight. And it's been a bit different, but I'm blessed because I'm employed by the Irish Army, so the Department of Defence, and I get to train within work, like, so yeah. I'm surrounded by different types of athletes, and we kind of never made excuses. Like, so, like, the roads aren't closed, get out and run them. Your house is not closed. Shadow box, move around. If you want it, you'll make a way, like,
Exactly.
So everything was going good. Training on my own for a while at the start until we got a little bubble going, and we just made do with what we had. And like I said, if you want it, you go and get it, and I'm ready, like,
It's a good attitude to have. Tell me a little bit about this event in particular. Obviously, you touched on, you haven't fought in 12 months, but there's been no MMA card in Ireland in the last 12 months. Tell me about the significance of this event and what it means to young athletes like yourself to have MMA returning to Ireland.
Yeah, so I'm very grateful for Declan McKenna and all the staff that Cage Legacy are doing. Like, the amount of work they're putting into this one is phenomenal. I personally thought there wasn't going to be a show for another 12 months. And like, I know personally a few other fighters, like, their heads were dropping. They were dropping out of the sport and stuff, because when there's no action, it's hard to keep interest, like,
Yeah.
With this coming up, like, you can see some of the best fighters in the country are on the show, on the card, like, and there's just that buzz back. It's not like the original buzz, but the buzz of MMA is back. Like, everybody's talking about it. It just means so much, because this is our platform. Like, this is what we need for where we're going to go, like,
Yeah.
And if there's a stall in shows, we can't fight, we can't progress, we can't test ourselves. It's just going to be a longer road for us, and I think, like, the lads are putting on a serious show for this. Like, they haven't put one easy fight on the card. Like, everyone is easy match, everyone's evenly matched, and it's just going to be a cracker. Like, and like I said, it means so much to keep everybody involved in the sport, because, like, Ireland is booming at the moment. MMA is absolutely booming. Like, every show there's new names.
Yeah.
Like, there's new lads that have world champion backgrounds in all different types of sports that are coming over to give it a go, like, and we need these kind of shows to get to where we want.
Exactly. And you did mention a little earlier there about that it's been over 12 months since you competed. Obviously, it's a while, but you're not in your own in that position. There's a lot of fighters have struggled to get a fight in the last 12 months. Do you feel like it's almost a fresh start to your career, in a sense that you've been given this time off, sharpen your tools, and what are we expecting from you on April 3rd?
Yeah, so I personally myself, this is after doing me the world of good, because anybody knows, I went out in my last couple of fights and I just fought on pure raw emotion. I was so new to the sport because I came from just striking for so long, and I was after boxing for the army leading up to my last fight, and I was just in boxing mode. And then with the whole crowd and everything that was going on in my last fight, I just fought in pure emotion. So if anybody or was there, or was at my fight in Romania where there was no crowd and it was completely different atmosphere, yeah, I really shone, like, and that's who I am and what I'm able to do. With this fight coming up, it's going to suit me down to the ground. My first fight back in over a year. There's going to be no crowd. There's going to be no hype, explosiveness. I'm just going to be calm and collective, like, and I'm after putting in some serious work. Like, everybody think this fight is the grappler versus the striker. It's not. It's not. Everybody knows how dangerous anybody that has ever rolled with me here in Cork, even in competitions, knows how dangerous my grappling is. And like I said, on paper, people think it's grappling and striker. If it stays striking, it's my game all day. If it goes to the ground, it's going to be my game as well, like, and everybody knows on paper Gary is a good grappler. And like I said, I like Gary, but this is my fight, like, I'm back.
Very good. And you have 4 teammates fighting on the card. Does that help with preparation for a bout like this?
Yeah, so we've got some good lads on the card. We're lucky enough that we created a little bubble that we can use each other for this camp, and even though the other 3 lads are huge and I'm the smallest, I'm still forever grateful that we can use anybody, like,
Yeah.
Like, at one stage there, I was nearly going to grapple my neighbour, like, and she's 65 years of age, so things are going. I needed somebody, so yeah, the lads training hard. When I'm on my off days, they're pushing me. When they're on their off days, I'm pushing them, and we're just going to get through it together, like, and I haven't seen a buzz like this in our gym in a long time. There's just this little buzz that's back that we missed for a little bit, and every one of us already, like, it's going to be a 4-0, 5-0 for SPG on April 3rd, like.
Very good. You mentioned your opponent Gary, and you're very familiar with him, and I believe you did ask for an IMAF medalist as your opponent for this card. Is that the intention, to challenge yourself at the highest possible level that you can get?
Yeah, so like I said, I know Gary over social media. I met him in jiu-jitsu competitions. Lovely guy. I have respect for Gary, but look, we have to fight each other at some stage. We're in Ireland. It's a small country. We're all going to fight each other at some stage, That's right. I asked for a big test because I know where I am. Like, I know what level I'm at, and I don't want. And I could go out there and take a guy that's going to be an easy fight and get a win, but I'm not going to learn anything from it, So we did get offered 2 opponents, and no disrespect to them guys, they're legit, they're good guys, but it just wasn't a big test for me. So we asked for an IMAF medalist, where I personally think if you have a medal in the IMAFs, you're one of the best in the country, if not in the world. And Gary has a bronze medal in the world, and I'm just going to go out and show that that's the level I'm at. I had my run in the IMAFs, came up short, but I know where it stands, like,
Yeah, and given a win on April 3rd, you're expecting a victory. So what will be next for you after a victory on April 3rd?
So I made a promise to Liam. I'm going to get 3 wins as fast as possible. I'm going to go in, win April 3rd, come out fresh. I'm going to jump on the next show. If it's May with Cage Legacy, if it's in foreign country, anywhere at all, I'm going to try and get the 3 of them done by September. Once I'm not injured, or if anything comes up short, and then a small glove time. So I can't wait.
And would there be a flyweight title on somewhere in that vision of the 3 fights?
I'm ready for whatever. It doesn't matter if it's a flyweight title. I just want the 3 best flyweight or bantamweights that they can possibly get me. If it's in the Ireland, the UK, anywhere at all, just the 3 best lads that they have, and just to prove myself to Liam, like, the promise was made. 3 wins, 3 good lads, and then I get to go small gloves. So that's my motivation. It's actually keeping that promise to him, is get me across the line, like,
Very good. Now, we do like to ask everyone that comes on as well to give us something we don't know about them. So what don't we know about Dylan O'Donovan?
As I said at the start, I'm in the Irish Army. A lot of people will know because they see me in my uniform and stuff, but a lot of people don't know I have a huge involvement in social care. Before I joined the army, I studied social care studies and healthcare studies, and I have a huge involvement with dealing with adults and kids with intellectual disabilities for the Brothers of Charity here in Cork. So whenever I'm not in the gym, whenever I'm not in the army, I'm up there helping out, making an impact on their lives, like, you know, and getting involved. And I do a bit of charity work for them as well. And, you know, it's just somewhere close to home and close to my heart. And it's my little getaway from being a cage fighter and being in the army, you know. So not many people will know that I have a soft spot.
Very admirable indeed. For a soundbite, why should we tune into your fight specifically on April 3rd?
It's actually hyping itself up. Everybody knows that I bring everything. Like all my fights, every fight that I've been in, there's always been something crazy happen. And people are going to be shocked. Like I said, they think it's the grappler versus the striker. It's not. It's me. I'm going to win this fight regardless of where it goes. And all respect to Gary, this is a one-rounder, and I promise that.
Very good. And before we let you go, where can we find you on social media? And do you have any shout-outs you would like to do?
Yeah, so my Instagram is Dylan O'Donovan 23. My Facebook is Dylan O'Donovan. If you just type in Dylan O'Donovan, it'd be easier. I still pop up. Just a shout out to like this camp, I kind of narrow it down to myself. I didn't go searching for sponsors like previous. I had loads of sponsors in my camps, but I didn't really need it this time. I just wanted to concentrate on myself. You know, it was kind of a little distraction. Like, I'm forever grateful for what those people did for me, but I just wanted it all myself this time and just narrow down and just concentrate on myself. But who I would like to thank is all the lads in the gym, like coming in and on my off days, push me and drag me across the line. Liam Og, answering every question I throw at him, staying after hours, nearly having to kick me out of the gym because I just want to keep going. Marlene, everybody in SVG, I thank for everything that they actually do, like, you know. And I want to thank Declan McKenna, Darren Sonic, and all the organisers for Cage Legacy for giving me this opportunity to show where I am, and it's going to be where I'm going, like, you know.
Very good. Be sure and tune in on April 3rd. Dylan O'Donovan takes on Gary Rooney in a highly anticipated flyweight bout, live on pay-per-view at Cage Legacy, The Aftermath. Thank you very much for joining us today, Dylan.
Thanks very much, bye.
Thank you.